For your entire working life, you've been paying into Social Security, and like many other Americans, you're probably counting on it as a large piece of your retirement income. But what if I told you that starting in 8 years, your benefit amount may be substantially reduced? This is the problem that Social Security is currently facing. A recent report shows that one of its primary funding sources is on track to be depleted in 2033. So what does this mean for your retirement future? Well, I'm going to share a way for you to safeguard yourself against this Social Security uncertainty. But first, we need to understand how we got here in the first place. Hi, I'm Kenney, Wealth Advisor with the Noble Group. I help people just like you build retirement income plans that will last regardless of changes in legislation. And if you stay till the end of this video, I'll send you a customized video with recommendations on your unique financial situation. More on that later. Okay, so first let's take a step back and understand the big picture on what's actually happening with Social Security. Social Security is primarily funded through payroll taxes, those 6.2% deductions you see on your paycheck and matched by your employer. That money goes straight to paying current retirees. But for decades, when Social Security collected more than it paid out, the surplus went into the Social Security Trust Fund, a reserve account invested in U.S. Treasury bonds. Since 2021, the program has been running a cash flow deficit, meaning it's now having to draw from that fund to meet its obligations. And according to the latest trustees report, the trust fund is projected to be fully depleted by 2033. Now, this doesn't mean that Social Security will completely go away. It means that without changes, the program will only be able to pay about 77% of scheduled benefits from payroll taxes alone. So if you were expecting $3,000 a month, once 2033 rolls around, you might only receive around $2,300 a month. That's a cutoff of over $8,000 a year, and for many people, that's a serious hit. To understand how we fix this, we need to understand how we got here. Social Security was created in the 1930s when life expectancy was around 61. Today, it's closer to 79, and many people live well into their 80s and 90s. That's a lot more years that Social Security is expected to pay out benefits to people. On top of that, demographic shifts are shrinking the pool of contributors. Back in 1960, there were about 5 workers for every 1 retiree. Today, that ratio is closer to 2.7 to 1, and it's still declining. Back in 2000, the Social Security Trust Fund had over $2.5 trillion in reserves. But as we said, since 2021, it's been shrinking. As long as expenditures continue to outpace contributions, that trend will continue. With fewer people paying in and more people drawing out, the math starts to break down. Add in inflation-adjusted cost of living increases, and you can see why the system is struggling to function. So what can the government do to fix Social Security? Fortunately, there are several strategies on the table. None of them are perfect, but they are actionable, and history shows us Congress tends to act when the pressure is high enough. First is to raise the full retirement age. Right now, full retirement age is 67 for anyone born in 1960 or later. One widely discussed fix is to increase that age gradually to 68 or 69. The logic is straightforward. People are living longer, and delaying benefits would reduce total lifetime payouts. But this would hit hardest for people in labor-intensive jobs or people who have planned to retire early. Second is to increase payroll taxes. As we've said, workers and employers each pay 6.2% in Social Security taxes up to a wage limit. Raising that tax by even a fraction, say 1%, would generate significant revenue. But it's still a tough sell during inflationary times or for small businesses whose owners pay both sides of Social Security taxes. Third, remove or adjust the wage cap. Currently, wages above $176,100 are not taxed at all for Social Security. That means someone making $200,000 pays the same Social Security tax as someone making $2 million. One proposal is to reapply the tax above a second threshold, say $400,000. This would dramatically increase revenue from high earners, but would likely bring about debates on whether they'd receive proportionately higher benefits. Fourth is to reduce benefits for high-income retirees. This approach, called means testing, would reduce or eliminate benefits for those with substantial income from other sources. It's framed as a way to preserve the system for those who truly need it, but critics argue it penalizes savers and turns Social Security into a welfare program. The fifth is to tax more of your benefits. Right now, up to 85% of Social Security benefits can be taxable depending on your income, but a new proposal suggests increasing that to 100%. While this doesn't reduce the benefit itself, it raises more revenue from retirees with higher income. It's a quieter way to increase tax collections, less visible than benefit cuts, but could still impact your take-home income. So where does that leave us? Well, Congress could use any mix of these strategies to restore solvency, and the truth is they probably will. The question is when, and whether your personal retirement plan is built to withstand those changes. So let's talk about your role, what you can do today to protect your income and build a plan that's strong enough to stand on its own, even if benefits are reduced. Let's walk through what we'd actually do in a retirement income plan, especially with Social Security on uncertain ground. We always start by asking how much of your retirement income is currently expected to come from Social Security. For many people, that number is 40% or more. And if we're being honest, that's a risky position to be in, especially with the possibility of future benefit reductions. So the first step is to rebalance that equation. We want to build a plan where Social Security supports your retirement, but doesn't carry the entire load. That means identifying and strengthening your other income sources, things like Roth IRAs, brokerage accounts, rental income, maybe some part-time consulting, or even incorporating an annuity if appropriate. We layer those into your plan so that if Social Security changes, you still have stability. It becomes a part of the plan and not the foundation. From there, we look at timing. When you claim your Social Security benefit can make a massive difference. Waiting until age 70 increases your benefit by 8% per year after your full retirement age. And that's a guaranteed increase, adjusted for inflation and paid for life. If you've saved enough, we might recommend drawing from your portfolio early in retirement, what we call a bridge strategy. That lets you delay Social Security, maximize your lifetime benefit, and potentially lock in a higher survivor benefit for your spouse down the road. But we never make that decision in a vacuum. It has to coordinate with your taxes, your withdrawal strategy, your risk tolerance, and your overall longevity assumptions. Which brings us to taxes. This is an area that's often overlooked. Social Security benefits are taxed based on something called provisional income, which includes your IRA withdrawals, dividends, and even half of your Social Security itself. And the higher your provisional income, the more your benefit is taxed. Like we said today, it's up to 85% that can be included in your taxable income, and possibly more in the future if legislation changes. This is why we often recommend Roth conversions in the early years of retirement. If you're no longer earning a paycheck and haven't yet started required minimum distributions at age 73, you may be in a lower tax bracket. Well, that's a window of opportunity. By converting traditional IRA dollars to Roth dollars during those low income years, we reduce your future taxable income and give you more control over your tax picture later in retirement. That, in turn, can lower the taxes on your Social Security benefits. And if you're married, spousal planning can unlock even more value. Let's say one of you earns significantly more than the other. We might recommend the higher earner delay their benefit to age 70 while the lower earner claims earlier. That not only boosts lifetime income, but also ensures that if one spouse passes away, the survivor receives that higher benefit for life. It can be a powerful strategy, but it's one that a lot of couples who try to plan on their own often miss. And lastly, we don't build any plan without stress testing it first. We model what happens if Social Security is cut by 20%, or if full retirement age moves to 69, or if taxation increases. We run those what-if scenarios up front because if your plan still works under those conservative assumptions, you've got something incredibly valuable, a retirement plan that's built to last. And that's what this is really about, taking the uncertainty out of your retirement income. You can't control what happens in Washington, but you can control how prepared you are. So it's time to take the next step. Right now, either click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen to start the process of receiving your complimentary personalized video from us. After you fill out some information related to your unique financial situation, we'll review it and record a video just for you. Again, completely complimentary, filled with personalized recommendations. And if you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone else who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.